Good morning and welcome to the Berks County Board of Elections meeting. Today is August the 20th. It is 11 a.m. and we will call the meeting to order. I'll start by asking Sylvia to please read the public comment notice.
Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the county's discretion. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue. The county shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any response to public comment will be done at the county's discretion.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia. Now move to the approval of the minutes from the August 6, 2026 Election Board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? If none, the minutes stand approved as presented. We move to public comment on agenda items. We do not have any in-person on agenda items. We have anything online, nothing online on agenda items. Okay, we have 3 items on our agenda today. And the first is discussion regarding U.S. citizenship and immigration services voter registration issues for decision of potential referral to the district attorney's office for further investigation. I will ask Cody to brief us on that.
Thank you, Commissioner, and good morning, Election Board. We recently received 2 public information requests from individuals seeking information relating to their own voter registration information. The requests themselves don't present an issue because there's a statutory process for requesting and providing voter registration information. The reason this issue is before the board here today is accompanying both of those requests were letters from USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, to both voters. Both of those letters were sent in response to notices of motions to reopen that was sent from USCIS to these voters. In short, those notices stated that USCIS is reopening their previous decision approving naturalization applications based upon, in part, these individuals previously answering no to questions regarding their citizenship and whether they were ever registered to vote. So as I said, we received requests for voter registration information for these 2 voters that those voters were seeking in response to the USCIS letters that they received. Upon review of our records, both of these individuals were registered to vote in Berks County. We have voter registration applications on file for both voters. One appears to be a standard voter registration application that was submitted in 2023. The other appears to be an application submitted in 2020. The 2020 application appears to be connected in some way, shape, or form with applications for public benefits. And the reason I say that is because under the reason for assistance, there's a part on the voter registration application where if you need voter assistance, you can select yes or no. This voter selected no, however, under reason for assistance, put comida, which means food. So, which leads me to believe that it was maybe submitted as part of a public benefits application. In reviewing the voter registration applications, on both of these applications, the voters selected no to the initial question that asked if they are U.S. citizens, which is either the first or second question on the application. However, both of the voters did sign the declarations, which are subject to perjury, that states in part on the English version of this application, I am a United States citizen and will have been for at least 30 days prior to the next election. The Spanish version is a bit different. It talks about that they will be a U.S. citizen for 30 days at the next election. Essentially, it doesn't specifically say currently a U.S. citizen. Little distinction here. Obviously, for these two voters, that was not the case. These two voters were non-citizens. Because they answered no earlier in the application, in full transparency, it should have been flagged for additional review on our end, but it was not. But it doesn't change the fact that ultimately they did sign the declaration attesting to their citizenship. Neither of these voters have any voting history in Berks County. They were just registered to vote. There was no actual voting that occurred. However, in reviewing these two matters, a similar matter from USCIS was recalled from 2025, where it was similar circumstances. And that voter did have voting history, albeit it was old. It was from 2006 and 2008. And that third voter that I just mentioned, their voter registration was canceled back in 2011. So it's not a recent incident, but it is one that we were recalled as we were going through these two issues. From the legal end, as I mentioned, the declarations on these voter registration applications are subject to penalty of perjury. Both of these individuals did affirm in one way, shape, or form their U.S. citizenship, which unfortunately was not the case. And in addition, the voter registration law does criminalize an individual from applying for registration with knowledge or reason to know that that individual is not entitled to registration. Under the circumstances, I believe it would be appropriate to refer this matter to the DA's office for further investigation so that they can take a look at it from their end. As you note, Commissioner Leinbach is not here. I did send an update to the board just yesterday regarding this. He did ask that I relay that he would support referring this to the DA's office, and also further note his just concerns about combining the voter registration process with either motor voter and or applications for public benefits, and wanted me to note that concern he has with combining those two and the confusion it can create. So with that, I would open it up to any questions from the board.
So Cody, we're doing this because the law establishes that we have to. So when we refer this to the DA's office, they'll investigate it. There's a potential language issue here. They'll make sure that they'll check into all of that. And I mean, it appears, I don't know if they were trying to circumvent the system or do something illegal because they never voted.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think, the DA's office looks at it from the criminal intent end, right? Was their intent here sufficient to pursue criminal charges? We look at it from the standpoint of the facts presented to us and the pertinent laws appear contrary to each other. So therefore, there would be a basis to refer it. But ultimately, the DA's office is the one that, investigates and determines in criminal intent, in this regard. And if it was a situation where it was a form included with a benefits application and there was confusion, perhaps that could affect things on there. I don't know, but I think that's, the role of the board here is kind of look at the facts and, look at the law. And here it was, two non-citizens who were registered to vote. So therefore there would be a basis.
Thank you. I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion. I will second that motion. Any further discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Also, I've had conversations with Ann as well, and she wants to add anything also, but this is also a learning opportunity for our staff here as well, as to be more attentive to that, and if there are any concerns or issues, to bring that up immediately. I also want to add that this did not have anything to do with the motor voter audit that the Attorney General, Auditor General DeFore did. I believe there were two in Lancaster, but these were not related to that. We have not heard anything from that audit, so I can only assume that there were no issues found in Berks County in reference to that. But Ann.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as Cody said, this should have drawn, a flag from our registrar. So we did review the process with them and ask them if they see that no checked at the top, if they are citizens, bring that to the management's attention before we process that registration. We are also looking to put another layer of management review on these applications before anyone's actually registered. So if we can, do an additional check for that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Cody. Item number 2 is the PA Liquor Control Board questionnaire. Review and approve the PA Liquor Control Board questionnaire pertaining to referendum questions related to retail liquor licenses, retail dispenser, wholesale distributor licenses, PA liquor stores that may appear on the upcoming 2026 ballot election. And we do not have any, but we still need to complete the questionnaire indicating that we do not have any of these items in this upcoming election.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
I will second that. Any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. None opposed. The motion carries. The third item on the agenda is the proposed Dropbox ballot schedule. We'll review and approve the proposed Dropbox schedule for 2026 general election. And this is the same as it has been in past elections. There are no changes to location, dates, or times. The 3 locations are here in the Services Center in the lobby as you walk in. The second is at the South Campus, which is in Kumru, Moulton. The entrance where the Redevelopment Authority and the MDJ is at. And the third location is at the Reading Regional Airport. As you look at the airport, it is the entrance on the right, which is actually you walk in and the Dropbox is located in front of the sheriff's office there. Dropboxes will open on October the 19th and will run through Election Day, which is November the 3rd. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday through Friday. Then the Saturday and Sunday before the election, the drop boxes will be open again from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., except for Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., Sunday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., Monday before election, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and election day will be open the same time as the precincts will be open, which is 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. I will second that. Do we have any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. None opposed. The motion carries. Just a reminder for the drop boxes, you can only vote your ballot. You cannot take anyone else's ballot unless you have a designated agent form attached to the envelope. And that designated agent form is someone that has some type of capacity that will not allow them to get to the drop box or to the election office. So again, you can only vote your ballot unless you have a designated agent form, which needs to be signed, and it will be attached by the deputies with a rubber band to the other ballot. I also want to let everyone know that at each of the drop boxes, there will be 2 deputy sheriffs there, and they will ask you the same questions that you are asked if you would bring the ballot in here into election services. Is that your ballot? Is your ballot signed and dated? They will not take your ballot. They will not look at your ballot, but they will ask you if that is your ballot and if it is dated and signed. Again, same questions that's asked when you come here into the office to drop off your ballot if you would do it here in the election services. Okay. All right. We'll now move on to the election director's report. Ann.
I just have a couple things. We are continuing to process ballot applications, and we're pretty caught up as of now. There's maybe, I looked this morning or last night, there's maybe 50 left to do, but we do have just under 22,000 applications ready for when the ballot's ready. The other item is that we are just starting to reach out to poll workers to see where our openings are. So certainly anyone that's interested, can contact our office, either call us, check out on our website. There's an application there if you have interest in working at the polls. That's all I have.
Okay.
And just to be clear, I know the answer, but I want to make sure the public, if you signed up for a mail-in ballot for the primary, you don't have to sign up again. You automatically get it for both elections.
If you are on permanent status,
Yeah, permanent.
Yeah.
then you will get all ballots for the year, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that's
Permanent is for
included in the
year.
22,000
1 year.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, it says permanent, but it's, yeah.
annual.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. So if you did fill it out for the primaries and you checked off permanent, you will get it. If you did not, you need to apply for it. Yep, good question. Cody or Ann, any anticipated legal issues with the ballot being printed on time? Anyone?
From my end, in terms of ballot printing, I don't see any concerns from the legal end in terms of our ballot being printed on time. There is pending litigation regarding the City of Reading ballot questions. However, there's been no date set yet for further hearing, and I, knock on wood, I do not believe that the outcome of that litigation will ultimately affect our ballots for this election. There remains the slight possibility it could, however, I don't think that's likely.
Okay.
And I know that the Department of State let us know yesterday they are soon will give us a certified candidate listing. I know there's still a couple tied up with legal issues, but they're anticipating that to be soon.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll now move on to general comments from the board regarding current election-related issues. Nothing? Okay. We'll move to public comment. We have one in person. Do we have any online? Nothing online. We'll start with our in-person. Jeff, name, municipality, and 3 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Wolf from Brecknock Township. From the Department of Homeland Security website, a press release revealed that, quote, through preliminary reviews of 4 states' records, DHS found that there may be as many as 190,000 plus non-citizens registered to vote in California. And from the Pennsylvania, the press release mentions a somewhat smaller number of almost 15,000 non-citizens registered to vote in Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro, on behalf of Pennsylvania and several other states, are legally challenging the Department of Justice's authority to gain access to the state's voter data in order to evaluate how states are or are not in compliance with federal obligations to maintain clean voter rolls. In a letter sent by the Pennsylvania Governor's Office of Administration dated March 2nd, a critique is made of Pennsylvania Auditor General's draft of the performance audit of the automatic voter registration program administered at the PennDOT photo licensing centers. One comment is most noteworthy in terms of election security. The letter states, quote, on page 2 of the report, it indicates PennDOT verifies citizenship before issuing a camera card. Although a minor distinction, PennDOT verifies legal presence, not citizenship. It should therefore be concluded, that's the end of the quote. It should therefore be concluded that the INS code embedded into the driver's license barcode cannot and should not be used to confirm citizenship status. Troubling for me is a guidance that is still active, I believe, from the Pennsylvania Secretary of State. It reads in part, quote, it is important to remember that any application placed in pending status while a county is doing a follow-up with an applicant whose driver's license or last 4 of social security number could not be matched must be accepted unless the county has identified another reason to decline the application. I'm going to run out of time here. Recommendations. Make it publicly known that you have asked the Secretary of State for guidance on how to identify, notify, and potentially remove non-citizens from the Berks County voter registry, and provide the public with such notification and removal statistics. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff. Any comments?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
The meeting is adjourned.